Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Third Down Thursdays. That man to my right, wait, I don't know how to point right there, give or take.
I messed it up too.
That beautiful man on the right side of your screen is Connor Davis. My name is MJ Hurley. We've got producer Cy Ingersoll in the background. I'd like to apologize for my absence. Not really. I'm not sorry. I couldn't even tell you what I've been doing. I know last week I was in the car driving to Illinois, had a wedding. Connor, just give me 5 minutes before we get there. We will, I promise. It's okay. Just give me 5 minutes before we get there. Took me about 13 hours to get there to Illinois, and then 13 hours back. Where was I the week before? What was I doing the week before? Did I work? I think I worked. I think I had to close the kitchen.
Yeah, you did.
It was a rough time. But we are back. And if you guys don't know, Connor and I have known each other for a while now. And I would just like to preface this 2-hour show by saying that I love Connor with all of my heart. Connor used to refer to me as dad. I embrace Connor when I see him. Like, I care for this young man. We will be skipping Shannon for the next 2 hours, and I will speak some unholy things at this young man. But it's all out of love. It's all for the program. And so I just like to preface that, sometimes they come up with the PG-13 or the R rating. I don't know what this will be. This depends on if Bruce gets on. It depends on what Cy ends up saying in the background. But, I love that Saints fan across the way.
I love you too, MJ.
Thank you.
I am a Saints fan for today, but this is not a Saints jersey anymore. This is a Cleveland Browns jersey.
Who is
because
it?
Famous Jameis went out there against the Baltimore Ravens and did what he did best. He ate that W. But MJ,
yes.
How are you?
Connor, I'm doing great. Busy day at the office today. It's Halloween, which means a lot of catering, a lot of chicken nugget trays. From 4 to 5 o'clock today, we sold 130 count nuggets. For those of you keeping track at home, that's 3,000 chicken nuggets just in one quick maths, right? That's 3,000 chicken nuggets, not including the catering we did. Very busy afternoon at Chick-fil-A Frisco Lakes. But we handled it because we're that freaking fantastic. So, great day at the office. It's the end of the month. Numbers looking good. Life looking good. Wife looking good. We're happy and healthy. Well,
I bet she's glad to hear that.
Paige has been fighting a little virus. Illinois doesn't really like Paige. Paige doesn't like Illinois. Specifically her body, really her mind, body, soul, and spirit. But specifically her body. She has basically been sick since we got home. But that's why we moved to Texas, because Illinois sucks.
Amen to that.
Mississippi also sucks, but I'm not going to come at Connor like that just yet. Give me like 10 minutes.
I like Mississippi.
So
where I was born and raised.
So here's the thing. Like, it was cool and all, and like I appreciate the people I met, and there are maybe like 3 people that I miss from Mississippi, maybe. And but the state itself can go suck it. The state itself is just like useless.
There's certain parts that I can't stand about this state. Like Jackson, Mississippi, for example. There is no worse capital in the country than Jackson, Mississippi. Bruno Mars in Uptown Funk, when he mentions Jackson, Mississippi, that's probably the
highlight.
The best, the best
or
thing.
Or the song Jackson by Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny. Well, I would argue the Bruno Mars part's probably more popular. Because not a lot. I'm not a big Johnny Cash guy. And I love country music.
Really?
But it's just like, I have my reasoning behind Johnny Cash. For me, it's really somber music. And if I want to listen to somber music, I don't want to be somewhere where I want to advance my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be somewhere where I'm just like at the top.
What?
trying to get to the top if I'm gonna go listen to somber music like Johnny Cash. I want to listen to something like gets me going, that I know that when I wake up the next day, I'm gonna be doing better and bigger things than I did the day before, or the week before, or the month before. And Johnny Cash just don't do it for me. And I love country music.
So, when you want to get yourself some top, you don't listen to Johnny Cash? Or you said to the top, sorry.
I was about to say.
To the top. Mississippi State. Or not Mississippi State. Southern Miss. To the top.
What do I listen to country-wise? This morning, I think I turned on some Heavy is the Head by Zach Brown Band. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know that song?
Unfortunately.
I love Zach Brown Band. They're my top 3 favorite artists of all time.
They're very great.
Easy.
You know my favorite artist of all time? This guy. That's my favorite artist of all time, ladies and gentlemen.
MJ and I are going to come out with a duet album.
Yes, we are. And it's just going to be the song I Was on a Boat That Day.
Yeah, I was on a boat that day.
It's going to be that 6 times in a row.
I was on
the
the
only
boat
song.
that day, acoustic version. I was on the boat that day, rock version. We're just going to have
I
different
was on a
versions
boat
of
that
it.
day, heavy metal version.
Yeah, metal. Yeah, just different versions of I was on a boat that day.
I was on a boat that day, but all the words are I was on a boat that day.
It's like Gucci Gang, but for like that would actually be good. It's like a good Gucci Gang. I was on a boat that day. I was on a boat that day. Yeah. I was on a boat that day. I was on a boat that day.
Oh my gosh. Did we find something?
Hold on now, guys.
I think we did.
Ladies and gentlemen, did we find something?
I don't know.
That was
I was on the
all
boat
Connor
that
and
day.
I sang from Hattiesburg, Mississippi to Mobile, Alabama in January. Just that.
Yeah. And like kind of some other business related conversations.
Yeah. And then maybe some love songs, so we don't talk about those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
How
love
are you,
songs.
man?
Oh, how am I?
Yeah.
Let's put that on there. I'm good. I have been struggling this week. I have not had a second to crap. Probably it's just been rough.
Hold up.
Like,
Hold up. Did you just announce public constipation?
no, it's not that I'm constipated. It's like I haven't had a time to let my drawers hit the ground and enjoy myself in the bathroom.
Connor, I have a very important question right now.
Yes.
Do you have pants on?
Yeah, I have pants on.
Okay.
Yeah.
How to look down to double check those.
Yeah. I look down.
Yeah, to be like,
Look at me.
you'll be like,
It's like when they say your shoes untied and you're not wearing shoes. But you know what I am wearing?
Don't take it off.
Shark slippers.
oh my gosh, I love those things.
I do too. I think I brought them to Mobile when we went to Senior
Oh,
Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah,
he
shark
did.
slippers are
100%.
good.
Yeah.
I walk around college camp. If I'm going like somewhere near the dorm, I got my shark slippies on. The time it takes me to put socks on, to put shoes on, and then tie my shoes to my feet, I will already be down the sidewalk with my shark slippies going to where I need to go. You're not going to sit here and tell me that I need to put shoes on to go a couple feet down the road. Because you know what? Shark slippies just do the job. They do the job better and they're more efficient. It's faster than putting on shoes and tying them on my feet. Plus, I can't even tie shoes correctly. I never learned how to tie shoes correctly.
Connor, would you argue that shark slippies are a top 5 shoe?
I would argue shark slippies, if you were to rank them based on like slides and flip-flops and comfortability, they are number 1. They beat
I'm
Nike
talking all
slides.
shoes. I'm talking
All
all
shoes.
shoes. Are they a top 5 shoe in your program?
I think they're a top 5, but I can't put them number 1 because of the fact my dogs are showing. I can't.
Okay.
I can't have my dogs. I can't have my dog showing. I know it's one thing. I
You
don't
can wear
think,
some no-show socks with some.
Yeah, I could, but I could wear socks. You're right. I don't think men should wear flip-flops in public. That's just my opinion.
Really?
Growing up, yeah, nobody wants to see your hairy dogs, man. If somebody wanted to go pet a hairy dog, they'd go pet somebody's dog. They don't want to see your dogs out. Put them things away. Put them things away. Look, I got some hairy toes. I don't want people looking at them.
Hold on.
What would you think if I just showed up with some flip-flops and my feet hairy, like, and you just looking down at them like, I would be disgusted. Think about if we went out to eat and I had flip-flops on, and then I took my foot out and started playing, like rubbing across your leg across the table from underneath the table. You know, nobody wants that.
Connor.
Are you saying that you have hairy toes?
Did you just?
Yeah, my dad is like a mammoth.
Connor.
He's like a werewolf. It's appropriate.
Quiet.
It's appropriate.
We don't talk about hairy toes on live television.
First of all, we don't talk about toes.
Period.
Rarely. Once in a while, maybe.
I hate feet.
Once a quarter,
Maybe.
But hairy toes, Connor?
Connor. You just went.
It was me to like express my disapproval of men wearing flip-flops in public.
But you just exposed yourself.
So I can shave them. I don't know how many people shave their feet. I think that'd be kind of weird. But this is my thing for it.
Nobody has to, Connor.
When you wear shoes all the time, think about it how mushrooms grow. Mushrooms grow in the dark with no light. Think about what happens when your feet is enclosed in socks and shoes all day. Hair grows down there. It just happens.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you start to get hairy dogs. I'm just saying. Think about how mushrooms grow.
I think we've very well identified.
I know I'm not the only one here.
I think we've very well identified who is Skip and who is Shannon.
I've seen it. I'm sure about that though.
Listen.
Sure
Listen.
about that,
Listen. We'll figure it out.
I will not be eating once today's division comes on.
Just give us a minute.
Connor, I said that Connor or that Sai is Molly Quorum.
I agree.
He's the one that has to go.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, guys, we're going to the next thing. Can you please?
No, we're not.
Can you shut up for a second, Molly?
Hold up. You know what we should do? Hold up.
Oh, we're saving that for later.
Call Braden Conrad.
Oh, I like this. If we want a real Halloween special.
I like that laugh. Yeah.
I don't know if he's working. If he's not working, he's better answer me.
Anyways,
when he answers, ask him how he feels like men wearing flip-flops in public.
he's the one who does wear flip flops. So
He wears flip-flops in public?
Does he?
I feel like he would.
I'm okay with wearing them in your own house, or if you got to go outside your house for a second, down a couple feet down. But if you're out there going to get food with your
I
dog
just
show,
drove like 45 minutes to get here. I wore my slides, but I got socks on.
yeah, and that's fine. But like, what happens if I go out? Restaurants don't allow dogs in their buildings. They don't allow dogs. That should be for your toes too. Put them things away. I hate feet. I cannot stand feet. When you sharing a blanket with somebody and they put their nasty cold toes on your legs. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. That is a top 3 worst feeling ever. Oh, I hate it so much.
When does that happen, Connor?
I mean, when you grow up with siblings, and then you get old enough to where you start liking girls, you do stuff with girls, you hang out with girls, then you share blankets with people, and they're nasty feet, they're cold feet.
People, interesting.
Oh my gosh, it makes you feel like your whole body just went down 5 degrees. You can't tell me you like someone's cold, moist, soggy, dank feet rubbing up and down your leg.
Oh, soggy. What? Soggy.
Yeah, I hate
words, man.
What? How'd we get from cold to soggy? We're not talking about waffle potato fries. Like,
that's what it feels like. Oh, you want to talk about waffle potato fries?
No, we don't. We want
Chick-fil-A here is bad. The Chick-fil-A here is bad.
Imagine not working for a top 75 Chick-fil-A in the country.
This is where I would speak up, but I can't say that yet.
It's okay. Bray. Dang it.
Jack, you gotta agree with me.
Anyways, why don't we, move on to the next segment?
What's the next segment, Simon?
Connor, would you like to take over, or do you want me to take over?
I can take over. Are you gonna stay in the? Are you gonna stay inside?
I really don't.
I had to put my food up. Oh, your rest of the later.
Let's. I'm gonna stay here. We're in the mood to stay in here today. So.
All right.
No.
Let's bring some excitement to the show.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here. All right. Are y'all ready?
See, puppy.
Go ahead.
Full screamy. I'm full screaming myself. It's okay.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the greatest co-host in sports entertainment. You are watching Third Down Thursdays, Hallowinning the World Series. And this is the first segment of today's show, the Davis Division, the greatest podcast segment in sports history. With your co-host, Connor Davis. Hey, guys.
Hey there, buddy.
A little golf clap. Yeah, we'll take that. We like that.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
He just did the AJ Styles.
He really just
Oh,
did
no.
that. With the bloodline shirt too. That's
With the blood.
good.
Well, we had filmed for Crown Jewel predictions for Saturday.
Yeah.
Sai.
What?
Well,
Sai, what are you doing?
The cord was tangled. The cord was tangled.
You know I'm gonna have to cut all this out, Sai. There. That's my little no. So, what do I want to do first? What do I want to do first? Okay, let's do this first. All right. Well, Nate and I said it as the news Tuesday. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Wednesday, yesterday. Nate and I don't have our show on Tuesday anymore. Yesterday, Nate and I talked a little bit about Deontay Johnson going to the Ravens. And people are saying, oh, it's a fleece. It's a fleece. The Ravens, they sent a 5th-round pick to the Panthers for Johnson and a 6th-round pick. It's a fleece. It's a fleece. It's this, that, and the other. Yada, 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 yada. The Ravens are in Super Bowl win mode. This is it for the Ravens. They don't win this year. They got Derrick Henry on a 1-year deal. He's showing really, really good flashes of who he used to be. And now you're thinking, this is the team right now. Lamar Jackson's playing the best football he's ever played in his career. And now they have a trade right before the trade deadline that could mean a Super Bowl run. So I want to ask you, do you think this trade was a fleece? 5th-round pick for Johnson in the 6th? And do you think this is what the Ravens need to have a Super Bowl run?
All right,
I think it'll help. But I don't think that Deontay Johnson is enough of a difference maker to actually put the Ravens over the top. Because my thought process is, does this change them being able to beat the Chiefs in a AFC championship game? And the answer is no. It does not. The Chiefs are winning with no one. The Chiefs are winning with nothing. And the idea that Deontay Johnson puts them over the top against the Chiefs, it just doesn't. So if they want to be that type of team, the defense needs to play better. Lamar Jackson needs to play better from the pocket, and they need to be a more complete team than they have been after the first few weeks of the season. But Deontay Johnson has to come in and learn an entirely new offense because the system they run in Baltimore is nothing like the terrible system they were running in Carolina. There's already a lot of trust built with certain players for the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. So it's nice. It's a cool little piece, but I don't think it's the Super Bowl winning move that everyone might believe it to be.
okay. I agree with some of the things he said, but I'm gonna approach this a little differently. So, is this move like a game-altering move? No, it's not. But this move has enough significance that this is filling a much-needed hole that the Ravens have right now. Yes, I understand that you say that, Lamar's got trust with certain guys. Lamar has trust with Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews when he decides he wants to play football, and Isaiah Likely because of the week 1 catch. I don't know if you saw the horrendous drop Rashad Bateman, who was the wide receiver 2 last week, had, but that can't be happening. Deontay Johnson his floor has always been a wide receiver 2. Yes, he got traded to Carolina to be that wide receiver 1. Carolina was not a good fit. He didn't really have a home there. That team sucks. At least in Baltimore, yes, he's going to have to learn a whole new system, but he is somebody who will complement Zay Flowers very well on the other sideline. He's somebody. He's better than Rashad Bateman, and if you're going to be over here trying to argue, oh, but Bateman's better, no, that drop can't happen. Josh Johnson didn't catch that ball.
He's had some pretty egregious drops in the last 8 weeks.
Who's his QB again?
Balls that hit him in the hand, brother. Doesn't matter who your quarterback is when the ball hits you in the hand.
Still, it is an upgrade. Is it altering like to be the Chiefs altering? Probably not.
It's also a good point.
But it is an upgrade, and that does have to be noted, and that does fill one of the few holes that this Raiders offense has. This gives Lamar Jackson another significant weapon that he can throw to. He knows he's got to throw in the pocket at some point. He can't constantly scramble. Josh Johnson gives him another viable option outside of Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews or Derrick Henry. Just based on that alone, it's a good trade. For a 5th-round pick, you're doing that any day of the week.
Well, of course you do. For a 5th round, yeah, duh. I'm just saying, so yeah, for that value, of course, obviously. I just don't think. So let me put it this way, and Connor can weigh in on this too, because I know he has his thoughts on Lamar. And I praise Lamar plenty. When Lamar needs to win football games, he is not sitting in the pocket looking downfield for a X receiver like Deontay Johnson. That's not what Lamar Jackson is doing when he wants to win a football game in the playoffs. It's just not. He runs. So if you're going to tell me that Deontay Johnson is going to help them win playoff games, I don't think so. He might help them win a couple regular season games. Obviously, yeah, he presents another more difficult matchup than Rashad Bateman. But the idea that Deontay, again, I'm just going straight to, does this help them beat the Chiefs? I really don't think so. I don't think that this is going to solve their Chiefs' problems. I don't.
If you look at Deontay Johnson's kind of playoff statistics, he did really good the first year they went to the playoffs in 2020. He had 117 yards and 11 receptions, but no touchdowns. And the last 2 times the Steelers went to the playoffs, he's found the end zone both times. So to contribute in every game the Steelers have played, they've been one and done. They've only played one game. And Deontay Johnson has contributed to those games. It's been 1 touchdown per game besides the first one where he had 117. And you can say he contributed to that as well. He just didn't find the end zone. So you're right, MJ. They're saying, are they going to beat the Chiefs? That's pretty much the goal of everyone right now.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs are the only undefeated team in the league still. But did they get him at a good deal?
I like the deal. I just don't think it does enough.
I mean, he has 350 yards in however many games have been played. 9 to 8?
Yeah, 8.
So maybe they had a bye week. Can't remember if Carolina already had a bye week or not. But to see that is like...
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Jack ain't wrong.
But that's what I'm saying is like, they're going to, if they beat the Chiefs, it's going to be because of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And it's going to be because their defense has the best performance they've had all season. That's what it will take from the Ravens defense to beat the Kansas City Chiefs as of right now. So unless Deontay Johnson is playing D-end and getting to Lamar, I don't care. I really don't.
You still have to take multiple steps, though, to get to the Chiefs. It's not all said and done. Like, yeah, you can assume, like, okay, this is probably me as a championship matchup. Chiefs-Ravens. Still have to get there. Deontay Johnson is going to help that. Deontay Johnson is I'm going to agree with Jack here. A better complementary piece. He will help them win games to get there. But everybody in the mama knows when they get there, it is Lamar and Derrick Henry and that defense that's going to win the games. It's not anybody else. But you still have to get there. Still take steps.
But like, okay, let's look at the Ravens' defense. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has not been good. They've been like objectively bad.
Not really. They have not been that good.
They've been objectively bad.
That's one thing I was going to point out is your secondary. And this is my mindset for this trade. John Harbaugh knows what he has in his team. He's one of the head coaches that knows his personnel. I mean, that's why he's been in the league for a minute. He knows what he has. The holes he has in defense, he is trying to compensate with picks from offense. If he wanted to go out and try to trade for a secondary, probably somebody like Deontay Johnson, he probably tried. He probably picked the phone up and said, hey, I got a 5th-round pick on the table. What can I get for it? And it wasn't anybody he wanted to get. So he traded for a piece that he thought could compensate for the holes he has in defense. He knows what he has. And he knows that he has Lamar Jackson playing an MVP year. This is Lamar Jackson's best football he's ever played. He's 17 for 2, touchdown to interception ratio, and he's looked phenomenal. So right now, he's saying, okay, what can I do to make him look better so that we can kind of put blankets over the holes that I have on my defensive side of the ball, and maybe, just maybe, my offense is good enough and my defense can kind of get there, and we can win some ball games come postseason. That's the mindset John Harbaugh has.
I mean, honestly, I don't disagree with that.
I don't disagree with either. So mindset you can have.
That was one of the first smart things Connor said in a while.
Good first topic.
Proud of you, Connor.
Thank you. Okay. We're on the topic of Lamar Jackson, so we're going to stick with it. Lamar Jackson was number one in the MVP race in terms of odds for a while. After he had that fantastic game against the Bengals, he jumped up, and now he's up there. Well, now Josh Allen is back to the number one MVP odd, and I kind of want to talk about MVP race, who we think has a better shot. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We have seen in the past.
Oh, dear goodness. Here we go.
We have seen in the past that, no, this isn't no dear goodness anything. I'm not talking about Lamar. We've seen in the past that quarterbacks have won this MVP award solely on the fact of their touchdown to interception ratio. That's the only reason. Because I can tell you some times that there have been better quarterbacks in the league, and someone like Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Matt Ryan have been able to win it. All three of those guys' MVP runs, they didn't have the best stats in the league, but their touchdown to interception ratio was just out of this world that the NFL was like, they're so efficient. I got to pick them. So they became MVP. Now we have this same scenario here. You have Josh Allen in one hand. He's got 14 touchdowns and 1 interception on the year with 1,700 yards. And you have Lamar Jackson with just over 2,000, 17 touchdowns and 2 picks. These guys' touchdown to interception ratio is phenomenal. And it goes with the running game that has been established in both of these teams. You have James Cook running the ball very well, and you have Derrick Henry running the ball very well in Baltimore. And now you're having circumstances where the quarterbacks feel comfortable enough to go out there and throw the ball. Before, we saw Lamar Jackson run 80 times a game. He had 2,000, 1,000 rushing yards on the year. We're not seeing that anymore because now John Harbaugh has made it to where his quarterback can finally be a quarterback. So let's talk about the MVP race. I'll tell you what the odds are right now. Josh Allen's number one with plus 270. Lamar Jackson's plus 370, and then the only reason he's up here is because his team's undefeated. Patrick Mahomes at plus 500. But let me tell you something about Patrick Mahomes. He leads the league in interception with 9 this year. He has not played good football. Trevor Lawrence has played better football than Patrick Mahomes. The only reason he's up here for the MVP.
Lead the league in interceptions?
No, I don't think so. I think we would have been talking about that then. I think Jordan Love had a pretty – right now you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. This website says Patrick Mahomes leads the league. But made me lose my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Trevor Lawrence playing better football than Patrick Mahomes, and he should not be in this conversation. His defense is carrying him, and he's barely – I have him on fantasy, and he's disappointing me. And he's barely freaking thrown for a touchdown and 200 yards a game. So we have the MVP race. When everything's said and done, what's interesting is the trade deadline's over. Now you have teams that have been cemented, and now you can say, okay, what have these quarterbacks done with the pieces that their teams have acquired to help them out come postseason? So I want to ask you, MVP, who you got potentially leading their team to the Super Bowl. You don't have to say Josh Allen and Lamar; those are just the favorites. But tell me what you got.
So he is the greatest thrower of a football ever. I mean, I'm sorry, he's busy getting high in New York. Yes, Mahomes, Love, and Mayfield all do have 9, which is wild back in the gunslinging 90s. If it wasn't for how poorly his defense is playing, Joe Burrow would be the clear MVP of the National Football League right now. He's got the highest completion percentage for anybody not named Jaden Daniels. Shut up, Connor. He's got the highest QBR in the league, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks, playing very good football. His defense is just atrocious. But he has been playing like the Joe Burrow that took the Bengals to the Super Bowl in 21. Like, that is what Joe Burrow is playing like again. And when he's playing like that, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. He's going to be a perennial MVP candidate. And I think that objectively, he has been the most valuable. The Bengals are barely hanging on by a thread and losing close games with Joe Burrow. If it was anybody but Joe Burrow, if he wasn't playing like he was playing like right now, they would be getting throttled on a nightly basis. So, yes, Josh Allen playing good football. Obviously, Lamar Jackson playing good football. Even Jaden Daniels, decent football depending on the day. I don't think that any of them would be succeeding, maybe Josh Allen, the way that Joe Burrow is right now in Cincinnati and really just staying afloat. So if I had to vote right now, Joe Burrow.
I don't hate the Joe Burrow take. Joe Burrow hasn't been putting up numbers, but they do. Yes, touchdown to interception ratio does play a big factor into who the MVP is going to be, but also team success plays a little bit of a factor too. Things aren't good,
Which it should, and I hate that crap.
No, it should, but because that Joe Burrow's probably not going to win, which is there's going to be a lot of conversation about that. But right now, I'd have to give it to Josh Allen. The numbers he's putting up this is what a good, healthy Josh Allen. This is what it looks like. Is what he's doing right now, and he just got Amari Cooper. Beforehand, his receiving core was Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and Curtis Samuel. Nothing. This is the team that got rid of Stephon Diggs, and it really looked like they were going to tank and that they weren't going to be great because of how bad the NFC East is and how good Josh Allen is. He's able to utilize his weapons. He's able to utilize his offensive scheme and playbook and be the best quarterback he can be. He's a gunslinger. He's good, and he's beating expectations. Based on those factors, in this very moment, if I were to give my votes, as much as I would love to give it to Joe Burrow, Josh Allen has it right now.
And I'm going to go back to something. I'm going to give you my take, but the fact that MVP is heavily weighed on with team success is stupid to me. Because although you can say, okay, well, that player's team should be winning if he's the best player in the team. Wrong. No, they should not. It is a team sport. If you're going to sit here and tell me one player can beat 11 men, go out there. Please go out there. Get down behind center with 300-plus linemen on the line, at least 2 of them there, and running at you with 5 flat 40 times. You sit there and go out there and tell me if you can still win a ball game and you're the best thrower of football of all time. Please go out there. Please tell me you can do it. Because right now, the MVP, as of last year, joke. When Lamar Jackson won it, Because although he was played pretty good, his team was good, there were better options than Lamar Jackson last year. And I'll stand on that because I heavily researched. I did my takes.
LOL.
Now you're looking at a different Lamar Jackson. This is the thing. The team around him is a lot better. It's successful. And I'm going to have to agree with Cy. And this is the reason for that. The MVP is the player that brings their team to probably the playoffs. I mean, if we see it, usually the person that wins the MVP, their team makes the playoffs. Somebody like Josh Allen is almost single-handedly taking, and I say almost because of what I just said, 1 versus 11, single-handedly taking his team to the playoffs. I mean, we have seen people before not be able to do that. And one of those guys is Josh Allen. We've seen improvement. We thought going into the season, the Bills were going to be second place in the AFC, maybe third in the AFC East. We thought the Dolphins, maybe the Jets with the greatest thrower of football on the team is going to go over the Bills. And no, the Bills have been playing some good football because you know why? They got rid of whatever Stephon Diggs did for their organization, and they got that much better. Josh Allen is the MVP of the league. He is making his team look better regardless of the stigma, regardless of what everyone believes Buffalo was going to do before the season started. And he is dominating and being successful. 14-1, it's good. The numbers aren't better than Lamar Jackson's, but by the time the season ends, he'll get there. And they're going to look at, hey, Josh Allen does not have as good as a team as Lamar Jackson does. And he took that team to the postseason. There's my take.
Thank you, Connor. Appreciate that.
I don't know why you're shaking your head, MJ. You got something to say?
No, I'm gonna say my outrage for later. I know that's not the worst take you're gonna have today, so I'll save my outrage for later.
Oh, you think that take was bad? That's fine.
I don't think it was good.
That's fine. You have
mediocre at best.
You have your own opinion. I'm
You
just
know,
gonna agree with some.
I pulled out
I
Joe
like Josh
Burrow.
I don't like Joe Burrow, but there's been games where he probably should have won. Maybe if you go back to the old Commanders game.
Maybe his defense shouldn't have given up like 40 points.
And maybe, like, if you watch the Ravens and Bengals game, that's probably the best game that we've seen all season. And Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns and still lost that game.
Yeah, because his defense is that bad.
Oh, my gosh. It was so
His
funny.
defense is horrible.
It was so funny to watch. It's like,
I felt like I was watching
this.
2016 Aaron Rodgers. Like, dude is putting up historic numbers, and the defense is just like, yeah, actually, screw you. We don't like you anymore. Get
And
out of here.
that's a GM issue. That's a GM issue when
They're
you
gonna
can't
pull
build.
You know, if Jack Gaffney was GM of the Cincinnati Bengals, they would not be losing.
They'd be
games.
undefeated right now.
It would be undefeated.
Yeah.
They'd be undefeated.
See,
Patrick
Jack-
Mahomes would be requesting a trade
Oh yeah.
to the
Just
Bengals right now if Jack
to play,
Gaffney were GM.
the team full of Jack Gaffney scouting report legends would be leading the NFL and everything right now.
You know what? Actually, let's make Jack GM of the Bengals and let's make Murphy the commissioner.
Yes. Yes. No, everything will be better. You just have to trust.
Yeah.
You just have to trust.
Big trust. Oh no.
And another thing that we trust around here is Connor's in a dorm room. We're in an apartment, and we gotta have good home insurance. Make sure that we can, just be great.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Building Block Insurance Group. Get a quote today at 704-464-4544.
Erie Insurance.
And when you call Jeff or Tepney at 704-464-4544, go ahead and ask him who he thinks is winning the NFL MVP award this season. And does he think Jack Gaffney will be a better GM than the Cincinnati Bengals have?
I like this.
Make sure to
McVay
email
out.
Smith. It might be
Ben
big.
Johnson in on that. I really like Ben Johnson.
Johnson.
I really like Ben Johnson. And
Who else is great?
he could have went to a team last year. And he chose to stay in Detroit.
That's because he wanted to run trick plays with Penei Sewell.
And
I would too.
Gates win the
That
game.
offense looks so 52 points on the Tennessee Titans.
They're just playing games.
They're the most unserious. It's like, yeah, we're gonna
It's like
spread out Dan Skipper wide against the Cowboys. Excuse me?
How about
MJ,
that
they're
boy?
playing your intramural co-ed flag football.
Literally. They literally are. Like, you don't know who's gonna get the ball. You don't know. Have I told you about that offense that I ran, Si?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the triple or quadruple option. It was incredible. It was unbeatable, especially when you have two former D1 soccer players that are girls that are running the option with you. It's unbeatable.
Well, it got beaten once.
We don't talk about that. They were 27. They were grown. These were grown people beating up on college kids.
MJ had NFL rejects playing against him on a flag football co-ed.
Literally. Literally. It is 2 degrees outside on Halloween night 5 years ago today. And it snowed. And we just got, well, I mean, we only lost by like a touchdown, but that's still like one of the greatest sports seasons of my life.
Oh my gosh, you're playing in the
Sports seasons of my life.
I was the quarterback of that team, not because I had the best arm, which, I mean, I was either second best or best, but like I ran that offense. That was my baby, my triple option. Like literally all I did, the play call beforehand was either I'm throwing the ball to you or I'm handing the ball to you. That was the play call.
Yeah, I remember you had one guy run a streak or something, and then you had like Paige as your center, and she would just run like a hitch or a curl or something.
Yeah.
And then you had like 2 running backs in the backfield.
Yeah, no, I had 3. So
3.
so I had a D1, a female former D1 soccer player on each side of me, and then I had our backup quarterback behind me, Vince. And so on every single play, and then I had Paige, and then I had 2 people spread out wide. And so on every play, I could either hand it off to any one of the 3 of them, or I could fake a handoff, throw it, or I could throw a pitch to Vince, and Vince could still throw the ball. So one of my favorite things to do was I would fake a handoff to one of the girls, throw a pitch to Vince, and then I would go run a route, and he would throw it to me. And they're just in shambles. And then
Literally
heaven
the Lions
forbid, all
offense.
of that was covered. Guaranteed Paige was standing in the middle of the field by herself 10 yards down the field.
Are you sure Ben Johnson didn't go scout your flag
I think
football
Ben
matches?
Johnson was it. We need to check his location in Peoria. His location in October of 2019, because I think he was in Peoria, Illinois, at Mine Field, watching me run the quadruple option.
He said, I have an idea.
It was incredible.
I'm going to take this.
And honestly, I don't know why NFL teams don't do that. Like, just imagine, like, the Dolphins.
Or the 49ers.
Yeah, just you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Achane in the backfield with Tua. What are you going to do?
With OBJ on one sidelines and
Yeah,
put your tight end out. Put John Smith out wide.
yeah.
And then
Who cares?
And then Mostert in the slot.
Yeah.
Because
Or put Mostert in the backfield with them. Put Tyreek in the slot.
Mostert,
Who cares?
A-Chain.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Odell, tight end on check down.
If Tua wasn't,
There we
secondhand CT ESPN, he could do the same thing and go run routes
One
too.
more and he's there.
One more, and he is Antonio Brown.
One
It's like a transformer. It's not something
we
you can
evolved
stop.
from a receiver to a quarterback because that's what they said this is what the economy needs.
It's like a Pokemon. He just evolves. He just evolves into CT ESPN.
Then
not something you can stop.
Shedeur Sanders will be the next one. Watch.
Oh boy.
Said Shador.
But yeah, that
Shedeur Sanders is next to ESPN.
yeah, I never got to play football because of my concussions, so that was great for me just to be able to do that and like have that joy. And we obliterated frats. Like we were playing frat sorority co-ed teams that were like gonna kill us, and we were just a group of friends, and we just obliterated them. But like both of my receivers were 6'3". So I've got 6'3" dudes mossing everyone. I've got 2 D1 soccer players just running circles. Because the great thing was I've got all these people in the backfield. Whoever I handed it to, the other one's going block, and we would all go block. It's like, you're not touching us. Boss.
I'm about to recreate your offense once flag football season rolls around. I got a buddy that was actually on the show, and we went out and threw the football the other day, and it was like poetry what we were doing on that field. And I was like, dude, we need to go and make a flag football team. And I was telling him about you, and I was like, this is the offense, sort of an offense we need to run. Because nobody knows what to do.
Bring the quadruple option to Mississippi State.
And I will happily let that quadruple option live, MJ.
Oh, yeah. You have to build your roster correctly. Because respectfully, if your roster doesn't match it, like I built the game plan to match my roster. Like we went out as a friend group and we were like, we're going to play flag football, right? And then we went out to practice once. And I looked at Vince and Cam. That was also a really fun thing. Both of my receivers were Cameron. And so I would just yell Cam something, and everybody knew us because we were also a bunch of the officials for the intramurals. And so I would just yell Cam and then a route, but they wouldn't know which one I was talking to. But I would tell them before the play, if I say something, I mean you, or I mean you. But they wouldn't know which one I was talking to.
Oh, that's clutch. You're like, okay, if I say Cam this play, I'm talking to you, Cam.
Or I would just switch it up like, okay, for this play, you're Cameron and you're Cam. Because they both went by both interchangeably. So I had that advantage too. And then, the guy who was my H-back also had a cannon for an arm. And so there were so many times that I would like fake handoff, pitch to Vince, and by the time they figure out that Vince can throw, Niesman is just like 30 yards downfield, has blown by his defender that is charging for Vince. It's just gorgeous. But you got to build, if you want to run that offense, you got to build the right roster.
I got to figure out like what I'm going to do.
And especially like we were the only team that utilized our females on the roster. Like I got some athletic girls on that team and they put in work. Like they were running for touchdowns.
Tanner works for the volleyball people. I'm gonna get a volleyball.
That's perfect.
Like a 6'3" just giant.
Oh, let me get a female Randy Moss. Let's go.
It's even better.
Yeah,
they don't want to touch her.
Yeah,
they will get scared.
If they're watching volleyballs, like what a little football they could do it. Come on.
Oh yeah,
come on.
If they got the hand-eye coordination to spike a volleyball, they can catch up a ball.
Come on now.
Yeah,
I would be
in the route tree.
I think I would be wide receiver though.
And even then,
that's okay.
I know I'm not 6'3", but like I'm like a freaking like Hunter Renfrow or like a Scotty Miller or something. Like escape routes are like my. We were just practicing routes.
Not as much the Hunter Renfrow one, but I love. You're like if Scotty Miller and Braxton Berrios had a kid. That's you on the football field. You can only be in the slots, but like if you had to like go sideline to sideline, you'd have troubles, but you could do it.
Connor, I will tell you my second. So my favorite play was still when I would pitch to Vince and he would throw touchdowns. We did it a lot and it works. My second favorite play was off of that. Because, you do it once, everybody's like, oh, this guy can throw if they pitch it to him, right? And so fake handoff to one of the girls, pitch to Vince. Vince goes like he's rolling out right because he's right-handed, runs a bootleg out right. I go like I'm going to run a route left. And then Niesman goes on a reverse and runs a reverse behind Vince, and he pitches it back. and then you have me, the two girls, Paige, and the other receiver, all as a blocking convoy.
You're not losing against that.
Yeah.
Like,
And so then you've got me and another guy who are 6'3", and then the three girls who have no regard for their safety. And we will throw chop blocks.
So I'm guessing the only way to beat your offense is man. And that's probably what the guys ran at the championship round, was just straight man, but they were just meaty men, and you just couldn't get past them.
Well, so they were all like 26, 27-year-old people, and it was the DPT team, it was the Department of Doctoral Physical Therapy program.
That's crazy.
And so they're attending the university, so they're allowed to play. But they were grown, they were all in incredible shape, and they also just blitzed the hell out of us. That was the other way that you can beat it.
Can't do shit about that, though.
Yeah. So if the teams try to like play back, play zone, I will pick you apart. And then they just blitzed us like crazy, and then would play man.
Connor. Thank you, Jack.
What?
Connor is just out here.
What's the blitzing rules for flag football? Isn't there like a 5 Mississippi?
No, but you
type
can
thing?
blitz once per 4 downs. Other than that, you have to wait 5 seconds.
Oh, that's my 3rd down every time. I'm blitzing you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's no punting.
Just pitch it out.
Yeah. So that was why I had Vince. That was why I was.
You see his sides going in.
Yeah.
You know your guys can be on the side.
Yeah.
They'll come at you, and you'll look up. You go to all the homes. Just give them a little.
Yeah.
Give a little shovel.
Well, so that's why, and it worked until the DPT girls were just respectfully much bigger than my girls. Because normally these soccer girls, they're not afraid to take people out. Like, they'll do takeout slides. So if I got blitzed, they would just undercut them.
They would be like,
and they didn't care.
Oh, man.
These girls were bigger, and
you can't undercut.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Because
And
they're
so
trying to undercut, they're gonna get stopped, and it's like, all right, then what are we?
So the problem is I've got 2 guys out wide who can actually man up my receivers for the first time the entire season, and then I've got girls and guys blitzing me that my blockers aren't handling, and me and Vince were just trying to play like 2-man hero ball, and it didn't work. I mean, we only lost by 1 touchdown.
Respect.
And then I didn't play defense. I did not play defense. That was not what I did.
Yeah, I could see you not being a defense. I could see you just like being a middle linebacker, but just strictly staying in the middle.
No, I would play single high safety.
I wouldn't be safety.
Yeah. Well, I was a little faster when I was 19. I actually was. Like, I broke a couple touchdown runs. Also because they got so confused with everything else going on that I would sometimes I'd fake a handoff to Vince and he would just go run and block for me, and the entire right side of the field would be open because they're so confused and so distracted. They're like, oh, this big white boy can run? Yeah, kind of. So, yeah.
But you're playing people that don't know ball, though. That's the thing. Like, how are they going to know what?
Yes and no. I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of these frats, they've got guys just like us that watch ball every week. So it's not like they didn't understand concepts. The problem was the personnel they had because it was co-ed. So a lot of the times they got girls that was our difference maker, honestly, was the girls we had on our team because they were fast as hell. So and we actually taught them routes. So I taught these girls what a choice route was. So they understood, okay, if I run at this guy, depending on what he's doing and where he's looking, where to cut.
Yeah.
So
they could just drop. I mean, they could just sit there and drop.
Yeah. And I understood for my wife, Paige, for each of these girls, how hard I could throw them the ball, where I would throw them the ball, and stuff like that. So we got very good at utilizing every single player. Irwin was our Moss guy. Niesman was my speed guy. Vince could run every route imaginable. These girls are running choice routes. Paige is hitching in the middle. I've got every option imaginable. So yeah, it was until we found a team that matched us physically, and then they also knew ball and played man. They literally came to scout us. in the semifinals, they came and scouted us because we were beating up on these frat teams so badly that they were like, we need to actually come and watch. So 2 of their guys came and scouted.
That's
so literally
crazy.
in the middle of the game, I saw them and we tried to like run dummy stuff for the rest of the game because we were winning the semifinal by so much. We tried to run dummy stuff and just like set up stuff for the championship game, and it worked. But then we ran out of stuff to run off of that because, like, to be honest, there are only so many combinations you can run. That's
why NFL don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea is there's enough that if you like blow a bunch of big plays, you get a bunch of big chunk plays, you'll get out ahead. And then, ideally, if you have some athletes, you can still play defense, whatever. But that was what we were good at. Is our defense was actually decent. Again, I didn't play defense, so I don't really remember. I just know we won a lot of games. But yeah, that was the thing. Is like, eventually they know all of the tricks. That's why it's important to teach, especially the girls in that offense, the different kinds of routes, so that it isn't just, okay, this girl is going to run and go left, this girl's going to run and go right. Like we would even do, the playing college football 25 counter where the 2 halfbacks cross.
Like they cross in the backfield, or
no, they cross.
They cross the line of scrimmage,
like 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. They cross.
Okay, I don't know what that play's called, but
I don't know what it's called.
I can visualize it. Yeah, it's almost like a scissors type play, but they cross instead of going to the corner.
Basically, yeah. So the idea what we would do is I would fake a handoff to Vince. These 2 girls run about 5 yards past Paige and then turn and cross each other. So the girl on the right cuts left, the girl on the left cuts right, and then Vince would run a seam.
But Vince was in the backfield?
Yeah, so I faked the handoff to Vince. He just takes off down the seam. And then these 2 girls are creating cross action. I believe I had one guy run like a deep in, and the other one would run a post. And then Paige is just sitting in the middle.
And if you need her, you need her. If you don't,
yeah,
chuck it downfield. How far could you chuck it downfield?
Pretty far, probably.
Because I'm definitely not a quarterback. I will admit that I am not.
I mean, I could probably
a quarterback.
I probably could throw it 40 yards at least.
That's not that bad. That's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. So
that's all. If you can get a separation on fade, that's all you need.
Yeah.
40 yards.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like, I mean, I was a pitcher, so I had a very strong arm. So, the accuracy depended on the day, but like, I could get it down there. And that was the thing I had to learn is like, especially with the girls who hadn't played football before. Like, I could throw it pretty hard at Paige. I'm not going to lie. She would just absorb it. Love her with all my heart. She's not going anywhere after the catch. But
the yak is not.
Yeah, but she is my center. She is my rock, and she is my check down.
She's your possession player.
Yeah.
Hey, it's KYP. Know your personnel, and this man knew his personnel.
Oh yeah. We built an offensive unit.
The name of the game, baby.
Yeah. Post that on YouTube, Connor.
Nah, this is how to run a successful offense with you guys.
Sai wants to post a video on the YouTube that he's about to introduce.
I do actually.
Yeah, we should just name that like how to run the best flag football offense or something.
It's your quadruple option.
That's video. But anyways.
Yeah, those are the glory days, man. Those are the glory days. But that, for real, like, that game, that championship game was, like, it was picturesque. Like, field covered in snow. It's 2 degrees. Like, that's what you live for. We lost, but, like, it was fun. We all were very hurt after that game because it was cold and that field was icy. And that was the other thing that hurt us is, like, the field was covered in snow.
Y'all played on campus, right?
Yeah. We played at Minot.
Nice.
Yeah. So
knowing where he played.
yeah.
Like it's just
So
it's a random field with a bunch of just like buildings kind of surrounding.
Yeah. But what really screwed us? Wait, what happened?
Hold on, Malachi Corley. We like that name.
He just did Deshaun Jackson. Oh no!
Like he dropped the ball behind
What?
him before he got to the end zone. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about.
Oh no!
I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. Like the play where Deshaun Jackson just like throws the ball behind him before he gets to the end zone.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's what he's talking about.
100%. But no, that's the other thing that screwed us is there was a bunch of snow, so we couldn't really run the downfield passing type offense because you couldn't really pass the ball very well. Like I was wearing like full gloves.
He did.
He did. Yeah, I was.
He did.
Oh my gosh!
He was on the 1 yard and just.
Oh my
dropped
gosh!
it. He hadn't
I
touched
thought
it.
so.
That's
No, I'm gonna revive it, MJ. Don't worry. The only thing is I don't have to worry about snow.
No, that is nice.
It's gonna
That
be
is
like
very-
90 degrees instead.
I will say the competition at Mississippi State is probably a little better.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I've
Like, it
seen
was-
some-
Shout out BU though.
I mean, until we got to DPT, it was pretty easy. There was a group of kids literally that called themselves the Cum Lords. It was supposed to be cum laudes, like the academic achievement. That's not what anyone called them.
Oh.
That's not what anyone called them. Nobody called them cum laudes.
No, I'm gonna do co-ed because I think that's the recipe for success. That's the difference maker
Yeah,
there.
100%,
You can find
because
the best.
If you can find 3 or 4 super athletic girls who are bought in and like want to compete, ooh baby, you can have some fun.
There's potential.
Yeah.
There's potential.
I'll help you scout Connor. Send me some film.
Okay. All right,
Send me
I will.
Gotcha.
I'll send
You
some
should have
stuff.
tryouts.
We will. Oh, me and Ty are like locked in right now on it. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go buy me some cleats again. Because when I was on the field,
Yep.
I was so rusty. I was like, dang, am I gonna be able to do this come the flag football season again? And then we just started throwing like after the 4th catch, I was just doing like diving catches and like possession sideline catches. I was like,
Oh yeah.
okay, this brings me back. You know, I'm back.
That was the other thing is we all wore cleats. And
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing
bunch of
cleats.
The other teams did not all have cleats. Even like Paige, I took her to Dick's Sporting Goods, and we got her cleats. We got everybody had football gloves. Like we
Yeah,
were
I buy those
invested.
too.
Like everybody on the field was appropriately uniformed. It was fantastic. So like I didn't have people out there slipping in tennis shoes. I didn't have people dropping balls because they weren't wearing gloves. Like, no. We got the right equipment out here.
And that's what happens too. I didn't have gloves on, and if he was throwing a bullet pass to me, it would
It'll slip right
slide between my hands, and I couldn't help it because when I had no gloves on and that ball was like super scuffed up, it wasn't like grippy at all,
Yeah.
and it would just go boop. And I mean, I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
you know, I can't do
we
shit
also
about it.
would bring our own ball. We didn't play with the balls that we didn't play with the footballs that the university provided. We would bring our own and then ask the other team like, hey, you want to use this one? Like, this is better. And they'd always be, yeah.
NFL regulation.
No. It was,
Really, dude? I would one hand those then. We
yeah.
were using an NFL
Yeah.
football the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I
That's
could,
why
like,
it was fun.
OBJ that crap.
Yeah, because it was whatever the step down.
A pee size football. You just
It's not Pee Wee, but it's like high
No,
school.
it couldn't have been that small. But yeah, it's probably high school. I was like,
Yeah.
because the NFL ball is pretty large.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
No, I mean
can't
I
even
had
like
6'3" dudes
kinda-
doing one-handed catches. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you just like.
And that's
opened
why
the
like
door.
me and Vince could really like manipulate it, and like the read options we would run and the fakes we would run, like it was very easy for me to conceal the ball and make them think that one of the girls had it. Like, you know how Rodgers will do where he like takes the ball and like dances for a couple seconds. I would do that, and it would be very easy for them not to see the ball.
Like just like
Yeah.
like you're a Street Fighter character.
No, like
in the pocket.
Like here.
This is really what we're doing right now, guys.
Hold up. Like, you know, you get the ball, you hand off, and then you kind of just like,
Is that what you do? Hold up, can you do it for me again?
so, and you just, and then you, boom.
Did you do the tas when you did it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's how he gets them so synced up.
You get it. Yeah, you got it. Timing, Connor. Timing.
Timing
guess
Timing
that's
on
the
these
only
routes,
way.
Connor.
Amazing thing.
I guess that's how you got your feet.
You
set.
think that
Game plans.
you think that I just went out there and threw the ball when I wanted to?
No,
No.
He knew.
3-step drop, cock it, fire it.
Bang. Easy. Yes. Cock it.
When I have a dude that can run, well, probably like a 5-second 40-yard dash. Let's be honest, it was intramural college football. College flag
I can
football.
run a 5-1. Can't confirm.
Okay, then it was probably faster than that. And it might have been like a 4.8. Cam used to run track, so he was pretty fast. When I have him running a slant, I'm putting the ball in his hip. Like, I'm not waiting for him to be open. No, I'm trusting that he will be open, and I'm throwing it to a spot. We're not amateurs around here, Connor. I don't wait for him to be open and think about it and then drop back and then throw. No. Cam's going to be open. He's better. And if he's not, I know the other guy dang sure ain't catching that football because I'm throwing it so hard only Cam is catching that. It's tough.
Anyways.
Tough.
Tough.
Now I want to play ball.
Not real.
We can. I'll be in Dallas.
I got Chick-fil-A football.
Oh, I didn't tell y'all.
You going to be in Dallas?
When?
I'll be
When?
in Dallas next weekend.
Connor!
Next week?
What?
Yeah.
Connor!
This is on if my sister can get the tickets. But Cody Johnson will be in Arlington,
Connor!
and I'll be in
I will
Dallas.
call off everything right now just to see you next weekend. You don't even understand.
I forgot all about it. I was like,
Come
Bro.
stay with me.
Bro, come stay with
I
me.
freaking will. How close are you to Carrollton?
Very close.
He is
Okay,
very
let's
close.
go.
Like 30
There's
minutes.
a bed. I'm staring. You're staring. You're looking at a bed right now. There's a bed over here. I will go into Emily's frame and jump on the bed. You can stay here, or you can stay with me.
I am 17 minutes from Carrollton.
I'm farther away from Carrollton. You would.
I only have 2 nights though, so.
I don't care, Connor. All I need is 2 minutes. Okay.
I want like I want 5.
Bang!
I want 5.
Hey, hit me up here. Hit me up here. Hold up. Let me do it again with football. Let me do it again. Now that I got a football in my hand.
Hold on.
Let me show you.
Hold on.
Let me show you. Let me show you.
Hold on, guys.
Hold up. Let me get
This is
side. Get in the backfield. Side. Get in the backfield. Okay. So, touchdown.
every time.
Touchdown.
Every time.
Every time. In case you didn't see. Yeah. Hut.
Fake handoff. Scene.
Touchdown.
Like 20 yards down. Like 20 yards down.
Touchdown.
Every time.
Very easy, bro. Very easy.
We do this.
Touchdowns
We do that.
every day.
We do this.
I'm out of breath. I'm good. That's how we do it, baby.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, Connor, when are you coming?
This isn't for sure because she hadn't told me she got the tickets.
I don't care. You're coming.
But like I really want to leave Thursday night when we have the show, but I can't miss the next. I'm gonna try, but I really can't miss the next morning of classes.
Yeah, you can.
But I'm gonna go to my professor and be like, look.
Tell him your best friend's mom's dog died.
I might be. We both might be working.
But
on it.
MJ, this guy has been at Mississippi State for a third of its existence. He is so old, he knows every single excuse in the book. He's been here over 50 years.
Yeah, so Connor, you're coming Thursday. You're going to be here in person for the show. I don't care.
We're gonna
I
triple
I
set this.
do not care.
Triple set. Anyways, we'll figure this out off air.
Plus,
No, on air.
me and Tanner got to figure it out too, because I got to accommodate his schedule too. Because he'll be there too.
So what I'm hearing is we're gonna go help you practice this offense in person.
Yeah.
Oh, if you got a football, let's go.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah, I got.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Anyways,
Hey, we'll go to the park. We'll challenge all the Indians across the street to a game.
damn straight.
Maybe we'll get to see some Mormons too. They pulled up on us when we played basketball one time, and they had this 6'4" like
No
Michael
way.
Jordan type dude that just kept dunking on us. They'll show up and ball out. I'm telling you, they had their ties still on. They had their button-up shirts just rolled up their sleeves, and they were balling out on us.
Mormons in a
I was
ball.
the
Mormons in a ball?
I was the only
Mormon
guy that
too?
scored points on my team out of 5 people. I was obviously point guard, but I was over there. We probably lost like
game tomorrow.
7-11. We played 1s and 2s to 11.
Hey, did I tell y'all about when me and Giles played pickup the other day?
I heard.
You can play pickup too.
Connor, I played
He played
pickup basketball against these melanin strong gentlemen.
Very.
And it was me and Matt Giles, my good director friend at Chick-fil-A Frisco Lakes.
We love Matt Giles.
Big fan of Giles.
On
around
record,
here.
he's just a skinny white boy.
Yeah.
Who knows his stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
He's like a Chet Holmgren.
5 inches taller.
Yeah, basically. And we played threes the first time, and it was chill. We had this guy named Chris on our team. It was good. We won by like 2. And then Giles was like, "Hey, I'm good. Like, I'm tired." That was a lot because it was us and 4 gentlemen with more skin pigment. And Giles was a little tired because he's not in that kind of shape. And let's be clear, I'm not either. But my middle name's Jerome, so I was going at it, and I was ready. And so I was like, no, let's play one more. And the only guy on the court was Skill. Looked at me and was like, okay, let's play 2s. And I was like, oh, 2s. That's very different than 3s, especially when 2 of you have skill and 2 of us don't. And me and Giles are the ones without skill. And we only lost by 2. I was very impressed. We only lost 15-13. And at one point he looked at me and goes, dang, that was good defense. And I was like, I can die happy.
You'd be surprised how much teamwork is a difference to a game.
Oh yeah, we were working very well as a team. We were playing very good defense. I was locking this brother up. He still scored, but I made it difficult for him. I
heard the details. He played his role very well.
Yes, I did. I don't shoot.
He doesn't.
I don't shoot.
He doesn't.
I will drive to the basket because I'm bigger than you, and if you want to get in my way, then that's your problem.
Yeah, I ain't taking you to the basket, MJ.
Yeah, no, I will take you to the basket. And if you want to take a charge and see Jesus, then that's your problem.
Anyway, on an off-topic note, do we know if we're getting Kenny around tonight? Because if so,
I don't think so. I thought he said no.
Well then, Connor, you want to roll college picks?
Unless you want to talk about baseball real quick.
I guess.
Yeah, bro.
We'll talk about baseball real quick, and then we'll roll our college picks, roll our NFL picks, and we'll get.
Sniped.
Thank you. I'm keeping this. All right.
Touchdown.
Easy. We got the chemistry over here. But all right, so we're gonna give the World Series breakdown for the people who have been
Under a rock.
for the people who have been under a rock. So the Los Angeles Dodgers, the money spenders themselves, are the World Series champions after I believe it was a 7-6 win last night over the New York Yankees. Los Angeles Dodgers at New York, they won in 5 games. Freddie Freeman was your World Series MVP after he hit a home run in 5 straight games, which were the first 4 games of this World Series. and then the last game, the last World Series he was in, was 2021. This series was good. This series showed us why the Dodgers went out and spent the money and made the moves they made. Their starting pitching, for the most part, was phenomenal. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, him. Jack Flaherty, good first start, very bad game 5 start, but he got absolutely bailed out. And then Walker Buehler was doing some disgusting Walker Buehler things. He came in and closed out the 9th inning on 2 days of rest, which is something that you do not see very often. But that's
a lie. You see it in the World Series all the time.
Okay, you see it in the World Series all the time, but that is Dave Roberts, and he was his best guy. He had Buehler set up to where if they were going to get to Game 7, he was going to be their guy, and he was going to win them this series. But
dang it! I think my computer died. Oh no, it didn't. We're good.
But he said, "Hey, we need him in Game 5. He's going to close in Game 5." And little Lyle Sprouty, he did great. Shout out Aaron Judge, aka Arson Judge, aka man's whose girlfriend's now fiance's DUI percentage was higher than his batting average.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He hit a home run, which gave them some momentum in Game 5, but at the end of the day, didn't matter. Giancarlo Stanton casually proved why he can be trusted in the playoffs, but can't be trusted in the regular season, which is he's a head scratcher. Why they're having him run the bases beats me. Shout out the Yankees though. Yes, gentlemen, it was a gentleman's sweep for Connor Davis, who doesn't know.
Yeah.
A gentleman's sweep is when the opposing team gets one game, but they still lose. That's a gentleman's sweep. We like gentleman's sweeps around here.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole played up to his contract. He is an ace for a reason. Carlos Rodon, shockingly enough, was not terrible, which to the White Sox fans who are tuning into this,
sorry guys,
surprising. I'm surprised too. Clark Schmidt though sucks. Juan Soto, I hate to break it to you, he's probably going to be a Yankee next year. You guys don't want to hear that.
He's going to be a Yankee?
I think it's possible after this.
That was going to be my next question.
After this, I think there's a world. I think there's a way where he is going to get the contract he wants, or he'll take the pay cuts. I doubt it, but
it has to be like historic though, whatever he takes, right? Like it's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah. It won't be. It'll be Shohei-esque level. Whether it gets
there's no way.
Whether the money's deferred or not, though, beats me. But in the range,
700.
It's Juan Soto.
For Juan Soto.
I mean, once you set the market, it's like
but Shohei's a pitcher too.
Yeah, but I don't really watch baseball that much, but I know stuff about market and money. And once you set it, it's like
Shohei doesn't count.
They get that taste.
What's the biggest contract that's not Shohei? It's Trout, right?
Trout's $526 million, I believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, it's not Yamamoto. So yeah, I believe it's Trout.
Yeah. So I think that's Soto's.
Fact check me.
That's Soto's market.
Fact check me. But
that's Soto's market.
Well,
is that
because it'll be he's 25 to 26 right now.
It'll be a 10 to 12 year
deal worth
500 plus. Yeah.
Like it caps off at like 620. He could get 12 to 620, would not be surprised. What team's going to give it to him beats me.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
No. I can tell you, I can give you a lot of reasons why that won't happen. But that's for another.
Really?
I don't think so, no.
I watched Juan Soto look at that celebration. And in his press conference afterwards, he goes, "Yeah, that would really suck if that was my last game as a Yankee."
I think the Yankees are going to give him the money.
I don't know. I don't know if he wants to stay.
I don't know either.
I don't
think.
I don't know how. Let's just say, because the Dodgers don't give a rip about money. It's very clear. Like, can we just talk about a lineup of Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and then Soto,
Teo.
and then Teo,
because they're going to resign Teo. Teo's a free agent. And
they're going to.
They made it very clear Teo's coming back on a
Yeah.
long-term deal. Oh, and Will Smith, and Tommy Edman,
And don't forget about Max Muncy.
and Max Monty. Oh, and Gavin Lux or Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
And then Yoshinobu Yamamoto's going to pitch, or Walker Buehler, or Clayton Kershaw, who's coming back, or
And then they'll probably sign Jack Flaherty.
Jay Flair. Shout out Jay Flair.
And then, they'll probably sign 7 more All-Star starters.
And then their bullpen, Blake Trinan, who's
Dear
former
goodness.
athletic, former A.
Blake and Max.
Oh yeah, but
Can we talk about the fact that Blake Trinan's slider defies physics?
Everything. Like, that man was out there already gassed, pitched 35 pitches, almost 3 innings to make sure this team stayed in the game.
I still don't. Can we talk about real quick all of the advancements? And we're gonna bore Connor. I'm sorry,
Connor. This is
all of the advancements that we have in sports and in sports medicine and all of this, right? Like, guys can throw 102.
Yep.
And we still have
Hard five.
we still have relievers that can't throw multiple days in a row.
Yep.
That can't throw more than 30 pitches.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand how
They can pitch a day, maybe 2 days, occasionally the third day, but they pitch that third day. They have to rest for
a week. Yeah.
2 days at minimum.
Yeah. So I don't understand how we don't have, Blake Trinan has to use so many analytics and so much data and so much science and all of this, right? But he can't get himself to a point where he's not tired because he pitched yesterday. And I get it. I've been a pitcher. I get it. I understand the wear and tear on your body, but there has to be a middle ground between you throw 100 pitches and you don't pitch again for 5 days. And there just has to be some sort of middle ground, man. The team that can figure that out is the team that'll go on a run.
I agree completely. But this can we agree? You and I and even Connor. Was this a good World Series?
Yeah, because the Yankees lost.
Thank you.
Do I think it's a good World Series as a fan? I mean, I can call myself a fan. I'm not an avid baseball. As a casual guy, do I think it's a
casual
World
who's
Series?
watching this
No.
for the analysis that the broadcasters are giving you, for the talent level. This is the first time in a long time we've had the 1 seed of the NL go against the 1 seed of the AL. That's a big deal in itself. And it's the star power on each team. Los Angeles Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman as the stars, as the people who are very well known. And the Yankees, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Garrett Cole, Juan Soto. These star players were very much here. But the storylines, this is my. Thank you, Jack. You're also a biased Red Sox fan, so that's not surprising. And your team's not going to do anything this offseason. I hate.
How about Alex Verdugo being the last out of the?
Yeah. How about Doogie? The storytelling of Alex Verdugo being the last out.
Doogie?
Yeah, Doogie.
That sounds super close to Dookie. Is he Dookie?
I mean, he kind of is.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He came from the Red Sox, so yeah.
There it is. There it is. But yeah, no, this because of the star power, because of the storylines, as good as the Dodgers are, for their name, their pitching staff has been ran staffs this year. We didn't see a Clayton Kershaw pitch. We didn't see a Julio Urias pitch for reasons. They relied on 3 starters, and the Dodgers frequently go a bullpen game, which in a big, notable game is crazy. I just want you to know that, Connor. They had rookies who would start the game, go a couple innings. They had these veteran guys like Ryan Brazier, who is a Red Sox legend, who would open up these games. They would rely on just these random arms that are on the 26-man roster to get them through the game. Wouldn't have a bulk guy. They would not have a starter go in there. They got to go 6 innings.
Did they do that all year?
not really know. They only did it because of injuries.
Damn,
That's how ravaged they were. Which is why, yes, as star-studded as Dodgers were, they really shouldn't have made it here because of injuries. Like,
right.
no Kershaw, no Julio. There's a bunch of other names that are on that IL like that they shouldn't have been here.
Right.
But that star power is what carried them here. Star power and friendship and magic got them here. And then the Yankees, outside of Rodon and Garrett Cole, they had nobody. And I'm sorry, Clark Schmidt started a World Series game, and that should not happen ever. Don't care that.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Obviously you're going into depth. You're saying things that I don't have any comprehension of.
Correct.
And I'm thinking, like, when you pointed out something that's very important that everybody should understand what Sai just said, including myself. You had the number one in one. Can you call them conference? The AL and the NL. Can you say conference? You had the number one.
But for the sake of this, you can.
Okay, you had the best team in one conference, and there's only 2 conferences in the entire league. And then you had the best team in the other conference face each other. And you had such an astronomical blowout, like Sai would say, a gentleman's sweep, but there was nothing gentlemanly about it. It looked like a big old butt whooping. If you're a football watcher watching this, think about it. The best 2 teams in the NFL played each other in the Super Bowl. And it was like 50-14. That's about how it
yeah.
And you're sitting here wondering, like, oh,
you remember the Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl?
Yes.
That's what it was.
I mean, it wasn't a blowout. That was still a good
They were
game.
competitive.
It was competitive.
Besides one were competitive.
I can't think of like a blowout Super. Oh, I can think of about a blowout. You ready for this? Denver Broncos and Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
We're talking about a freaking blowout Super Bowl. Take
Yeah.
those 2 teams, for example. And that's what this World Series was. And I'm glad Sai pointed that out because I didn't know that until he just said it. But as a watcher, that was not a good World Series.
Not happen very often. So the fact that it happened and all this star power was able to be displayed on this national level is really good for the game of baseball because of how much we're struggling due to MLB blackouts and just the general people not being very interested in our sports. This gave us interest. This was what we needed. It would have been phenomenal if it went to 6 or 7 games. Do not get me wrong. But the fact that the Dodgers were able to handle business for the 3 games, and then the Yankees blew out the Dodgers game 4 in their own house, instead of winning going out like that, and were up 5-0 on the Dodgers. I'll make that very clear in game 5. They were up 5-0. The Yankees were up 5-0. The Dodgers came back because of poor defense, which was the kryptonite of the Yankees all season. And then the fact that it was competitive. Dave Roberts, manager of the LA Dodgers, had no plans on emptying the bullpen, on using all these high leverage guys. They were available, yes, but his plan was, all right, we're going to ride Jack Flaherty for as long as he can. Jack Flaherty went 2 innings. Jack Flaherty went 9 batters. He only recorded 4 outs as a starter. This is the man who started game 1. This is the man who was a Yankees fan, who was coming into Yankee Stadium. Actually, but he came into Yankee Stadium like as Jack. I know you're tuned in here. The Jack Flaherty legacy game did not happen, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to happen." So then Dave Roberts was forced to use basically every single one of his high leverage guys besides one. He had to go to his starter and Walker Buehler, who pitched only 3 days ago at the time of this live stream, to close out the game because he had only one available arm left. Yes, the available arm has had this postseason experience, but he trusted in one of his best guys. This is something that doesn't usually happen. And just,
I've got the perfect football analogy for the injuries. It's the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
Yes. That's how Dodgers work.
The Dodgers have lost Dustin May, Tyler Glasnow, and Clayton Kershaw, all who at one point have been like Cy Young level pitchers, MVP type pitching guys. That is like the Chiefs losing Pacheco and Rashee Rice, and that would be like them losing Juju. Like that is exactly what we're watching right now. Is the same type of experience. So it would be like the Chiefs just rolling through this season, barely losing at all. Like that's what we're looking at right now. That is the NFL comparison.
I have one more question before we go into college about baseball because I'm actually intrigued.
Yeah,
listening to y'all. Now, when you have the Dodgers that obviously are up here and the rest of the league is down here. Now you have the set, and people are saying like the Dodgers are going to probably go back to back based on like how the pieces they will have in the next several years and the next year or whatever. What does that do to the competition of baseball when you have a team all the way up here and there's no team that's really knocking on their door just yet?
This is actually a fantastic question. So, full screen, thank you. This is what is so awesome about MLB baseball is you have to play 162 games. Every single pitch, every single at bat counts. This is not like the NFL where you can just get a lead and just do a halfback dive or halfback sweep or just gain small yardage and then QB kneel. You can't do that in baseball. Every single pitch counts. And what we have seen in the past is that these top dogs, these juggernauts, can get upset by the little guys. That's what's so cool about how the NBA playoffs and how teams work is you can be a 7-seed team coming in with a record of 82-80, just barely scratching way into the playoffs. But if you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, you're not. And yes, with the NFL was just one game, but we do series in MLB. 3 games, 5 games, 7 games. It does not matter how good or bad you are when you come to October, because it's a fresh slate. If you are the hot team, you will make a run. Look at the New York Mets for the fans in here who know what the Mets did. Look at the Detroit Tigers. These are teams who coming in September should have not even been sniffing the postseason. Who should have been so out of it, but they got hot at the right time. They went on a roll at the right time, and they made the playoffs, and they won games. These teams who would scratch and claw. That's what's so cool about MLB. That's what's so cool about the postseason is yes, seeding helps. Yes, the advantage helps. Yes, if you've been good all year and you're going into the postseason on a high note, it helps. But if you're going into the postseason like as a 1 seed, but you weren't playing good your past couple weeks, that will affect you. Baseball is a major thing about momentum. It can change within a pitch. It can just these things are just very. It's what makes baseball so unique and interesting, and that no other sports can really do. So, are the Dodgers favored going into next year? Absolutely. They're going to return basically everybody. They're going to get people healthy, but just because you're a preseason favorite, anything can happen in these 162 games. People can get injured. People can slump. Other teams can outperform. That's what makes baseball so interesting. So, yes, Dodgers are the favorite, rightfully so. They're going to return basically everybody. But from now until late March, when the regular season starts, anything can happen. So, I hope that explains it.
I mean, anybody who's been watching long enough knows that baseball is my first love. It's the only sport I actually played for an extended period of time. Played baseball for like 18 years, and that is to me like I love watching football. I was actually texting my boss last night, and I was like, this game is why I love playoff baseball. And it's why playoff baseball more than anything is my favorite thing to watch. I love playoff football games. Playoff hockey is actually really entertaining sometimes. It can be really exciting. But playoff baseball and the storylines and the comebacks and the swings, like to me more than anything, and I'll get real deep here for no reason. playoff baseball is like a microcosm of life. Like Walker Buehler had to go through so many hard things. 2 Tommy John surgeries, yes? Sai?
Walker?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
2 Tommy John surgeries, which for anybody watching who doesn't know baseball is like the baseball equivalent of an ACL. Out for a year, you're done for the season for sure, and maybe some of next season. Honestly, might even be like the Achilles for basketball. Like it's bad. It's gotten better and it's gotten more modernized and the medicine and everything. But Walker Buehler comes off 2 Tommy John surgeries. He, correct me if I'm wrong, so I did not have a good season this year. Trying to come back, had not pitched in 2 years. He was not himself. He struggled a lot throughout this year. And I think if you would have asked Walker Buehler,
5.38 ERA.
Yeah.
He was scratching
yeah,
to make this
that's like a
playoff
50%
roster.
completion percentage for a pitcher or for a quarterback. It's bad. It's horrible.
He barely made this roster, but got hot at the right time.
That is like current Bryce Young being Super Bowl MVP.
Basically,
Like that's what we're looking at. The production Walker Buehler had to be the guy to close out the World Series. And what's crazy, Sai, is you were watching last night, yeah?
Yes.
When Walker Buehler came in, there was not an ounce of energy in that stadium. And there was not a doubt in my mind that he was closing out that game. It had the same energy as, was it Kershaw? Who closed it in 20 for the Dodgers? Urias, right? Julio?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was Julio in 20, Madison Bumgarner for the Giants, Randy Johnson. They said it on the broadcast last night. But like the fact and the poise that he had to come in and just fire away.
I'm gonna give you some numbers to make this, because numbers really show the Walker Buehler story. This is a man who last pitched in 2022. He played 16 games this year, started 16 games with a record of 1-6, with a 5.38 ERA in 75 innings pitched. And you know that's not great. But looking at these numbers, he gave up 89 hits in those 75 innings, 52 runs, gave up 16 home runs, walked 28, did strike out 64, which is good to see, but ERA plus is 72, a FIP of 5.54.
Oh my gosh.
He was not good. In all reality, look at me when I say this. This is a man who, when the Dodgers got the bye out of the wild card into LDS, this is a man that, looking at these numbers, probably should have not been on the playoff roster. But because of how devastated and injured that their pitching staff was as a whole, they had to rely on Walker Buehler. Because outside of Jack Flaherty and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they did not have anybody. It was Walker. The numbers didn't look great. But in the past, this is somebody who has finished third in Rookie of the Year, who's a 2-time All-Star, who has finished as high as 4th place in the Cy Young voting. They have to trust their guy. This is a man who was on their 2020 playoff roster when they won, who had a 3.44 ERA in the regular season the last time that the Dodgers actually made and won the World Series. This was somebody that they knew that, okay,
he's got it.
We don't have a choice. We're going to hope he can dig deep and be what he once was. And he did. And if it wasn't for Freddie Freeman hitting 4 straight home runs in the World Series, 5 straight, actually, if we're going to go back to 2021, but 4 straight in this World Series, Walker Buehler would have been your World Series MVP. Because his story, which is why I love baseball so much, stories like these are why you watch this game. The fact that he came in and closed out this game showed how great he was this postseason, and it showed how much he has been through and how much trust that manager Dave Roberts had in his guy. This is a guy that they have had so much hope for And I want to add, he's only 29. He's still young. He's still a vital part of this team and the future success that they will have.
I'm inspired.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
You want to get into football?
Oh, yeah, it's time for
Man, screw Jaden Daniels.
It's time for coach's picks.
No, we're not doing Jaden Daniels still.
Man, screw Jaden Daniels.
We gotta wait till Bruce gets here.
Bruce not getting here. What you talking about?
Yeah, no,
No,
it is.
next week. I gotta save it for next week.
All right.
All right. I'm doing the college part of Coach's Corner.
We gotta go through both of these quick though.
Yeah, well, I'll go through the NFL quick. I'm not like Bruce. I will not give you the spread and stuff for the NFL games. There's 32 NFL games. You do not need to know. I'll tell you who's the favorite, but I won't tell you the line's this. Let me check the wind. It's going about 30 degrees to the southwest.
Hey, Nick cares about that.
I'm not gonna do that stuff. But here are your
Got your face down there.
CFB games of the week. I just figured out while Cy was yapping about his baseball. In your first game. So I did a kind of like a 2 Big Ten, 2 SEC, and then I got fun with it and did an ACC. But these are like probably the best matchups of the week. So you have the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Here, full screen. The number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the number 3 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Excuse me. And this is the battle of the frauds. Like this is who you decide are fraudulent of this season, whichever one. But if it's like a shootout game, then you can't really decide. But if it's like a 21 point game, this is like a shootout. Now, as of right now, Ohio State is favored by 4 points, and the over-under is 47.5 points. So I'm going to go with Ohio State. I think that their record speaks for themselves. In this history game with Penn State's never been able to beat it. It's the same thing with MJ of him not voting on the Dallas Cowboys until they win a playoff game. So Ohio State wins versus Penn State, and Penn State probably gets shown that they are still frauds and will forever be frauds until they win something big.
People are going to think this game's going to be close. It will be close. But there is one team that is better than the other team. And that team is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yes, they might be ranked technically one lower than Penn State. But you got to keep in mind that they lost a shootout against Oregon, which is going to be the Big Ten Championship. I don't care what anybody says. Penn State is still a good team. They will probably get a New Year's Six bowl. They will make the top 12 almost definitely, unless Penn State does the fluke things it likes to do. But you're dumb if you're betting against Ohio State. They win, they cover. This is going to be a beautiful game.
MJ.
Ohio State wins and covers. It's not close.
Next
game. Okay. Oh, this is the game I am most excited about. I like Ohio State to say this is the game I am the most excited about. The number 19 ranked Ole Miss Rebels goes to Fayetteville, Arkansas to fight the Razorbacks after Taylon Green puts on a masterclass against Mississippi State this past weekend. And you might be thinking, okay, well, Arkansas is not ranked, and Ole Miss is ranked 19th in the country. Why is this a matchup that is on here? And this has been a close rivalry ever since Arkansas joined the SEC. All-time Arkansas leads 38-29 and one tie. They have tied once. Every time Ole Miss seems to get into the groove or get into like, oh, well, this could be a promising Ole Miss team. Bam! The Arkansas Razorback comes in, and they just show Ole Miss that they aren't the guys. Right now, Ole Miss's ego was up here at the beginning of the season. It's right down here, and now it's going to go even further down when the Razorbacks win this game. I'm going Arkansas. They're home. Taylon Green just put on a masterclass, had 673 yards of offense last week. Arkansas has to win this game. They'll probably win by 3 or 4 points. It's going to be a close one, but Ole Miss loses, and their playoff dreams suffer.
I know nothing about either of these two teams. I would just like to be contrary, and I will say that Ole Miss wins to make Connor mad.
That's fine, EJ.
This is actually the most easiest pick I'm going to have all week. Arkansas wins. Arkansas covers. Ole Miss is a good team.
Ooh.
They're not playoff made right now.
You're not going to elaborate on the Arkansas win?
It'll be close. Game-winning field goal is what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling 25-28 Arkansas. It'll be on some level of a game-winning touchdown or field goal. But this is a game that Arkansas needs to win more than Ole Miss needs to win. That's all I'm going to elaborate.
Next game. Oh, this game's also going to be good. Oh, my gosh, we have good games. I love college football. Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, goes to Illinois, the Fighting Illini.
Oh, thank you.
24th ranked team in the country. Is it Illini? Oh, Illini. I thought it was
Illini. I was from
Okay.
this area.
Sorry.
Illini.
Sorry. I should trust
Illini.
y'all are
Illini.
Illinois
We're
people.
both
Thank
from
you.
Illinois. We know this.
This is what the interesting thing is. This is probably the closest game of the entire week. Minnesota, for Minnesota, 1.5 points. The over-under is 46.5 points. Now, you look at it and you're like, okay, this is my mindset going into this. Illinois has Starkville legend Luke Altmaier, who went to Ole Miss, transferred to Illinois. Now he's leading his team to probably a ranked end of the season. And you're looking at it. You're like, okay, well, this Illinois the offense looks promising. Their defense is pretty good, but then you look at the Golden Gophers. Passing game is comparable to Illinois, and then you have a better running game. This is the game changer for this. Illinois' defense will be slowed down because of the running game. The running game will go into effect against Illinois, and the Golden Gophers will win this game. This will be a Golden Gopher victory, and I'm calling it right now due to the fact that Illinois really doesn't have that much of a run game against Minnesota. Minnesota wins.
I don't really want to pick either team. Should I just keep being contrary? I'll keep
One's ranked, one's not.
Illinois is the one that's ranked, right?
Correct. So 24.
Yeah, so I pick Illinois. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
All right, hold on.
I pick both unranked teams.
Thank you for playing this game. So there's some factors that I hate to break it to you that you did not mention that are going to play vitally in this game. You're over here talking about, Illinois doesn't have a run game. Illinois doesn't have a run game. You're acting like Minnesota's got this run game that's so great and so awesome. Minnesota doesn't have this thing called defense.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I say this because my Iowa Hawkeyes smoked them and got our trophy rightfully back. And for those who aren't aware, Iowa does not know how to play offense. It's something that really sucks for me to say. But you know what? You know what Illinois does know? You know what the 24th ranked Fighting Illini knows how to do? Play some fucking offense. And what you did not mention, which is so very vital, this is at Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois, where the Fighting Illini and Luke Altmaier play best. Illinois wins. Illinois covers. I understand if you think this game's going to be close, but when the Fighting Illini win by 10, do not be surprised. Memorial Stadium is going to be rocking, and Minnesota is not going to be expecting what's going to have to be thrown at them. And I hate the Illini, and I hate the Gophers. I'll make this very clear.
I didn't think Cy could yap so much in a video. He's like, do these picks quick. Next game. Texas A&M finally cracked top 10, not being overranked at the beginning of the season for the first time in 25 years. They're 7-1, top team in the SEC. Hasn't lost an SEC matchup like every other team. They go to South Carolina, face the Gamecocks, and this is going to be a close game. Texas A&M is only favored by 3.5 points. The over/under is 46.5 points, and this is Texas A&M's matchup. You saw last week with LSU where Connor Wegman played the first half, the third quarter hit. Marcel Reed came in, threw 2 passes, had 3 rushing touchdowns, and that was the game changer at that night. Marcel Reed, Connor Wegman, who's going to start going against South Carolina? Mike Elko has a decision to make. Texas A&M wins this game because they keep Marcel Reed. They keep going hot with the quarterback that single-handedly won them last game, and they beat South Carolina with Texas ahead at the end of the season.
What are the teams?
A&M versus South Carolina.
Texas A&M, South Carolina.
A&M. Take A&M.
I like what South Carolina's been doing this year, but I don't care who's starting for A&M. This is another must-win for A&M because if they lose, there's gonna be a lot of questions of why are they ranked this high? Why? How this team is fraudulent, and I just don't think that we're going to get that out of A&M this week. A&M is going to walk in here and they're going to they're coming in, they're standing on business. That's what, as we like to say. They win, they cover. Next game is this game I'm very interested in.
Last game, and I think this is one size interested in. You have the number 18th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers going to the SMU Mustangs, the 20th ranked team in the country, in Frisco, Texas. And now you're sitting here thinking,
Oh, yeah, baby boy.
oh yeah, baby boy.
Oh yeah, baby boy.
I saved this for last for a reason. The ACC matchup that might be one of the greatest games of the weekend. Oh, dang it, I clicked on something. Crap. Okay. Over-under is 60.5. Golly, shootout. And then SMU is favored by 7.5 points. SMU just came off a thriller against Duke, winning in overtime after Duke decided to go for 2 points instead of tying it up. Didn't get the 2 points, and they ended up losing. So SMU's hot right now. But Pittsburgh's defense, who do I want to go with? You know what? I'm going to make an emotional decision. Because sign MJ right here, the SMU Mustangs win this game. And they go on to possibly compete in an ACC championship.
Oh, baby boy, are you right? That's all I got. You're right.
Give this to me. This is what I've been waiting for all week. This is homecoming game for the SMU Mustangs. They are at home. Gerald J. Ford Stadium is sold out for back-to-back weeks, which has never happened in this program's history. Pittsburgh's good. SMU is better. Their only loss this year has come in a close game against a ranked BYU. I understand the Duke game was a nail-biter. But this SMU team came to ACC for reasons they knew they could compete. And they're ranked. They only have one loss. And I hate to break it to you, that trend is going to stay the rest of the year. This team is going to compete for the ACC championship. And if they win that championship, best believe, they could make themselves a little sneaky run as a little 7-seed, 8-seed underdog in this year's college football playoffs. SMU wins. SMU covers with ease.
Cool.
All right, NFL. This is going to have to be a speed run because we only got 5 minutes technically.
I'll just say one word apiece.
Yeah, that's right. Texans, Jets. Texans up 7-0. It's halftime.
Texans.
Okay. Saints, Panthers. Saints. Favored by 7. Okay. Saints, I'll take it. Dolphins, Bills. Bills favored. I'll take Bills at home.
Dolphins.
Let's go Josh Allen. Let's go Keon Coleman. Bills.
Interesting matchup. Broncos go to Baltimore and fight the Ravens. Ravens are favored. I'm going to go Ravens.
Ravens.
Broncos. I have a feeling.
Chargers, Browns. Chargers favored. Browns at home. Got to go Browns. J-Mo about to eat.
Browns.
Lad McConkey's healthy. Chargers.
Raiders, Bengals. Bengals at home. Bengals favored. Joe Burrow masterclass. Bengals win.
Bengals.
Joe Burrow.
Commanders, Giants. Commanders favored. Giants at home. Jaden Daniels, questionable. Commanders win.
Giants.
I'm going to go Commanders, guys. I think Mariota's got it if it needs to be.
Cowboys, Falcons. Falcons at home. Falcons favored by 3.5. I'm going to go Cowboys for this one.
Falcons.
Falcons, what are you doing?
I went
What do you
Cowboys.
know?
I went Cowboys last week. They gave me a pleasant surprise on how
Bang,
they played
bang,
the
there again.
49ers. Patriots, Titans. Titans favored. I'm going to go Patriots. They're hot right now.
Patriots.
Patriots, that's easy.
Bears, Cardinals. Cardinals favored. I'm going to go Cardinals at home.
Bears. Cod is out.
Cardinals, trust in Trey McBride.
Jaguars, Eagles. Eagles favored by a butt ton. Eagles take this.
Jags against Eagles. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Eagles.
Eagles, all biases aside, despite the week Dougie P is fired.
Lions, Packers. Packers at home. Lions favored. Lions got this in the bag after putting 52 on Tennessee.
Who's the home team? Can we clarify?
Jordan Love forgot how to play football, MJ.
No.
I'm sorry.
Can we clarify who's the home team?
The Packers.
Packers.
Who's starting? Malik Willis or Jordan Love? If it's Jordan Love, Packers. Malik Willis, sorry to break it to you, Lions. If this game is going to purely depend on who is the starter going into Sunday.
Yeah, Jordan Love forgot how to play football. Rams, Seahawks. Rams favored by 1 point, probably the closest game of the week. Oh, man. Rams just came off a blasting victory against the Vikings. I'm going to go Rams.
Rams.
Colts, Vikings. Vikings favored by 5. Sunday night football game. Joe Flacco starts for Indianapolis. I think that's the game changer. Colts win with Joe Flacco at the helm.
Colts.
Anthony Richardson had to have been benched this week. It would have been even worse on their franchise if he started this week. But you can only ride the aging back for so long. Vikings.
Monday night football. Buccaneers, Chiefs. Chiefs undefeated, walking in as 8.5-point favorites. The Chiefs keep their streak alive. I'm going to go Chiefs. Need the Buccaneers to lose.
Chiefs.
Bucks don't got receivers. They had Mike Williams and Chris Godwin's be another story. They don't have them. Chiefs.
Now, that's how you do an NFL segment, Bruce. We just did that in 5 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Come on, guys. Come on,
I don't want to
guys.
see
What are you
no. We can do call the line games, and if we even had one
doing?
call the line game, it would still be 9
We do
o'clock.
have a call the line game. Hold on, baby boy.
Probably the Patriots and Titans game.
Ah,
That's probably
yeah.
call the line game.
Call the
That's
line.
awful.
That's
Jack, wherever he is, call the
Jack,
line,
call the
Jack, on your own team.
Jack, call the line.
it's that, and it's also kind of Raiders. If you really deep dive on Raiders Bengals, that can also be a call the line game because if Joe Burrow shits the bed, a lot of people lose the money.
True. Call the line.
I really want to say Giants and Eagles, but I have a gut feeling it's going to be competitive for no reason.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the line you really need to call is the line for Erie Insurance. So we're going to end with the greatest insurance commercial we have ever seen. It has been a pleasure with my 2 producers, my 2 children. It's been a fantastic evening.
First one, baby, let's go.
So from the Frisco studio.
Wait, am I older than you, Si?
No, I was firstborn.
It's true.
For a fact that I knew him first, and I am older than you.
Oh,
Also,
are you?
let me shout out the OG Chiefs jersey from early 2000s baseball manager today with the lineup cards. Come on now, we do this. And who else does this? Jeff Vertepney. Run the fucking ad.
Bang. Hey, Connor.
Hey, MJ.
I'll see you on Thursday, baby.
Call the fucking line.
Line. Aw.